If you learn the 5 fundamentals of a Python script, of any Python project, you're going to master Python. This is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. So let's take a look at it. Here we can see a Python script, a simple Python script that explains per section what I'm telling, like 5 different foundations or fundamentals of a Python code, right? So let's start with the first one. The first one is the import. Import is used to bring libraries, and the libraries are supposed to bring routines. Routine is a term that is very common in programming. So what it means, it's going to bring a piece of code that was already made or already written by someone else that is again used when you pull out using the import command, right? So in this case, for this command line, we're going to be, for this code, we're going to be importing the math library, right? So what are libraries? Libraries are ready-made tools that makes coding easier, right? So think of libraries like power-ups in a video game. They instantly give you your program more abilities, right? So now, this is the first fundamental. The second fundamental that we're going to take a look at it is the fundamental of variable. What are the variables? A variable is like a box where you store data, right? So Python automatically detects what type of data you are using. So when you store the data in there, so what type of data means, it could be like you can see here in the code. It could be a name. The name is a variable that we're creating here. Receives this name, Luis Oliveira, my name, right? So in the type that goes in that box that go into that variable is this text, which is called string, right? So down below we have another variable called age, named age, and it's receiving the number 30. So 30 years old, right? So in this case, it's an integer or a whole number. And then we have like not a whole number, which is height, equals 1-75. This is a float, it's a decimal number, right? This is the type float. And below we created is underscore Python underscore fun. And then we have a type of box or variable that is a boolean. You can only receive true or false, right? So anyways, and then we have the printing function. Printing is supposed to bring out whatever is within the variable, whatever is entered in the variable, right? So in this case, variables, the data types example, name, age, height, and the question is Python fun. So it's going to be print out. Now, this is the second foundation. The third foundation is functions. Function is like a recipe that takes ingredient, like inputs, right, and produces something out, which is the output, right? So, and the function is it starts with this def word. This means define function, right? So defining one function here, we're calling greet, and then the name variable inside of it, right? So and then the function return, we can get that information, which is on this anything in quotes is going to be print out, or it's going to be exactly whatever is in quote has to come out, right? So it's like if you want to create a folder, not a folder, form, that the question here on this form, the questions are fixed information, then you use quotations, right? So, and then name is a variable. So whatever name was input before, it will come within this whole quotation sentence. But the name is a variable, so it can change, right? So, and then calling the functions, you use again print, right? And then you can print the result of a variable, the name, right? Or you can print whatever you wanted to print out as a fixable data, fixable information, right? Within quotes. Now, so we just went through the functions. It's very simple, but we can learn by looking at this and use the same concept in any project, any Python project, right? So the next one that we're going to take a look at it are the conditional statements, right? What are conditionals? Conditionals, they let you program and make decisions, right? That means any conditions has to be evaluated, and then the decision will be made. That's the condition, that part of a Python script. So in this case, the condition statement, it's also considered the brain of your code. You can think of that way. And then the age variable, the condition if equals 18 in this case. Then we print something like conditional statement example within quotes, you see? So anything here will be printed. So and then if age is greater or equal than 18, then we print out you can access the Cyberfacti platform, right? Else, or different than greater or equal 18, you say you can print out, sorry, you must be 18 or older, right? This is a conditional example, pretty easy, right? Now, the fifth foundation that you need to understand are the loops, right? Loops automates repetition, so it will bring information again without having to multiply times, right? So let's take a look at here. So loops example, using a for loop, right? So print using for loop, and then for I in range 1, 6 between parentheses, and then that means basically that is this prints numbers from 1 to 5, right? So and then it will bring the print function iteration. So and then I is what's being variable here. That's the conditional that is taking anything between 1 and 5, and it will be printed out, right? So the output iteration 1, iteration 2 until iteration 5. It's going to be bring out as a print in your program, right? So using a while loop, right? This is a different. While is another another function that you need to know within the loops. So count equals 1 while count is less than 5. And then you print between quotes count, and then the function count. The output should be this count, colon 1, then count colon 2 until count colon 5, right? So if count is different than 1, you increment 1 count. So think of a loop like it says in here. Think of a loop like music. It keeps playing until you tell it to stop, right? This is going to be the example that we are taking for you of loops. So, and then we're going to print this in the code. We are pretty straightforward print function for the final takeaway of this video. Master this and you master Python. So master variables, store data, functions, help you reuse code, conditional, make decisions, loops, repeat tasks, and libraries give extra power. So, and then once you understand this, you can build anything in Python. So again, recapping. So the 5 foundations of any script, any Python code will be: first, the import, and second, the variables. Third, it will be the conditionals, sorry. And fourth, it will be the functions. And fifth will be the loops. Right? So if you know all this, you're going to master any Python. So keep that in mind, and let's run the code to finish our video. So the code runs in Python with the command Python and the name of the code .py, right? So let's run it. So here we got the results of what we wrote in our code. So here's where we set the command to learn the Python code. And then we got this printout variables that were used, right? Name, age, height, and Python is Python fun. And then function examples. So we brought hello, Luis, the name. Remember the name was in the function. And then welcome to Cyberfacti Academy. And then Anna, if that was the name, welcome to Cyberfacti Academy. Those are examples. Conditional statements example. You can access the Cyberfacti platform. This is the printout. And then the loops example that we used, or the iteration 1 to 5, using while looping, same thing, count 1, counting 2, counting 3, counting 4, and count 5. So, and importing libraries example, the square root of 25 is 5, right? So, and then the Python essentials recap. Those are the prints that we had at the end. Variables store data. Don't forget, functions are here to help reuse code. Conditionals make decisions. Loops repeat tasks, and library give you extra power. So once you master this, you're going to understand any Python script, any Python project. Thanks for watching. Keep exploring. Be aware and be safe.